Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is our lab that is related to the chapter 9 of Chang book, and this lab is basically about attribute data input and its management. We will follow a timeline as taking a glimpse of the theory from the book chapter, and then we will perform 6 tasks. First one will be entering the attribute data of a geodatabase feature class. The next one will be using join and relate operations, and then creating some attribute data, and then editing that attribute data for classification and computation purpose. So starting off with, let's get a quick glimpse of chapter 9. This chapter is basically about attribute data input and management. As we already have an idea that a GIS data has two components. One is the spatial component and other one is non-spatial component. The spatial component, that is basically the geometry, line, point, polygon, and the non-spatial component is actually the attribute data. For example, if we have the shape file that contains the trees data, right? And with those trees shape file, we have a file of attribute, for example, that may contain tree height, that may contain the tree species. So this whole chapter is basically about the attribute data input and its management, right? So dealing with the attribute data and understanding it, that is very important. And in some cases we have the attribute data in different sheets or in different text files. So we must learn how to relate 3 to 4 different text files to get the output from all of them. For example, if you have a data of trees, if you have a data of roads, if you have a data of buildings, but all of these data sets, they are in separate files. So you need to first relate these 3 text files and then create some query that I need trees that are nearest to the buildings, and that are also within 10 meter 20 meter of the roads. So these types of queries can only be answered if you have an idea of the attribute data. Attribute table, we have already some idea what is an attribute table in ArcMap. We have dealt with them, and there are some terms. The first one is DBMS, that is database management system. It is used to manage basically these attribute tables, right? And we have different types of attribute data. This is actually questions which actually come in exam. What is nominal data, what is ordinal data, what is interval data, and what is ratio data, categorical data, numerical data. So you must just go through these terms. And then we have a relational model in which we have different tables, they are linked with one another, right? Like we have quoted an example of trees, buildings, and roads, right? So these 3 tables or these 3 different text files, they can actually be related in a relational database model. There is a term which is called as normalization in this chapter. Normalization is basically decomposing a large table into smaller table for faster querying, right? So there are many types of relationships. This may also actually come in exam, that one-to-one relationship, many-to-one, one-to-many. These types of relationship must be, you must have some idea. Then important thing that is related to lab is joining and relating the tables, and how to perform the attribute data entry, and what are the methods of adding the field, deleting the field, and how to manipulate the field once you have added the data set. Now here we have the classification mechanism which we will perform in the lab, and after the classification we have the computation of attribute data, that how can we actually calculate or compute the attribute table. So these are some quick revision of theory concepts. We will focus more on the lab part. So you must understand these terms. For example, categorical data, DBMS, feature attribute table, what is meant by a field, that is actually a column, right? What is meant by a row, and what is interval data, join, record, relational, all of these terms. You must just read them so that you have some idea when you start performing the practical session. So we will now starting on with the lab part, starting from the task 1, that is enter Now here we have our first task, that is to enter the attribute data of a geodatabase feature class, right? So for that purpose, if I have here opened this file, chapter 9. Okay, let's start from here. The first task is very simple task, and what it want actually, that you have a landed.shp shapefile, right? So you need to create a new personal geodatabase, and you have to import this landed.shp in that geodatabase as a feature class, right? So as a first step, what you have to do is to start our catalog. Just click on this icon, our catalog window is going to appear. Now once you have our catalog window appear, you have to connect your folder to this chapter or dataset which you have been provided. Here I have chapter 9. Just click on chapter 9, you will have the dataset over here. Now the next thing what you have to do is to create a new personal geodatabase, and you have to rename this geodatabase as mentioned in the Word file to land.mdb. Just click and rename land.mdb. Now this personal geodatabase has been created. You just have to go to import, right click, go to import and select the feature class. In the feature class, select the shapefile, which is basically landed.shp, our output location, and your feature class name. Now feature class name, which in this tutorial is mentioned, we will use that land at. So just write the name here and click OK. Once you click OK, your shapefile will be imported into this personal geodatabase, right? If you just click on this, you will see that your shapefile has been imported as a feature class in this personal geodatabase. So this was the first part of the task 1. Now the next task is to create domains, right? What we actually have to do is to go to the properties. For creating domain, you have to select the properties by right clicking the land.mdb. Here in this geodatabase, you have to just right click, go to the properties. In this properties, you will have domain name description, right? So you will have to write the domain name over here, and you have to write this value lu code value. Just copy it or write it here. Domain name is lu code value, right? And in the tutorial, if it's asked something else, write that and select the type short integer and select coded value. Here you have to select the short integer, and here you have to select the coded value, right? Okay, next is it asks you to enter the code as 100, 200 and 700. So you have to write over here 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600 and 700. So you have to write your codes over here. Now the next thing, it asks you to enter the description. So you have to enter the description as 100 is for urban, 200 is for agriculture. You have to write in this way, 100 for agriculture, and fill all these description, and then we will start again. Okay, here I have added all the codes and the description. There is one correction you need to make, that is 100 is not for agriculture, it is for urban, right? So once you have completed this, then the next step is to apply and click OK. Apply and click OK. So our domains are now created, right? We will see that what is the advantage of creating this domain later. Now the next step is to add a new field to land at, right? So that is very simple. What we have to do is to select our feature class right over here, go to its properties section and add a field here in the field name. So the document asks you to add a field uh, LU code. So just copy it. If you cannot, just enter it, LU code. Now it asks you about the data type. So specify the data type as short integer, right? Here you have some options. So by following the document, it asks you that you have to click in the domain, you have to select the LU code values. LU code values, we have done that. Now click OK and dismiss, apply and OK. So if you go to the properties again, you can see that LU code is now, that is short integer, it has domain of LU code values. So we have completed this part as well, right? Okay, the next is to launch ArcMap, right? And we have to rename the data frame as task1 and add land@, file there, right? So we have to start with ArcMap here, chapter 9. I have already added a data frame, so it is very simple. You just have to go to the insert data frame. Your data frame is added, you just have to go to its properties and rename the frame over here, right? So for this exercise, the first thing you have to do is to insert a data frame and rename it as task1, right? So we have done that. Now the next thing is to add data set, right? I'll just remove it over here and add data. It asks me to add land@, file. So let's add the file over here. So this file is added. Now if you go to the attribute table, it has some ID, shape area, parameter, ID and some values. Okay, the next thing what we have to do is to open the attribute table of land@, LU code appears there. Now if you want to see the LU code, what you have to do is to click on add data again, go to this geodatabase land.mdb, and here if you add this feature class, right? So I am removing this shape file, and if you go to the attribute table of the feature class, you will have the LU code values over here, right? So till here we are clear with all the steps. The next thing is to click on the editor toolbar and select start editing and fill up some values by selecting the sort ascending. So let's come back to the ArcMap. What we have to do is to go to the editor and select the start editing. If the editor does not open, you can select, just right click over here and select the editor from here. Editor, start editing, you have to select this file, open its attribute table, and the first thing you have to do is to select this column and select sort ascending, right? Then you have to fill up some values which are mentioned here. For example, for 69 you have to enter the code 300, right? So here I have for 69 I have to enter the code 300. Let's start from 69. Here I have to enter 300. Similarly, you have to fill all the values which are mentioned in the PDF. Now here I have filled all the values which were mentioned in the book chapter. So once you are done with this, you just have to save edits and click stop editing. Let's come back to this, describe in your own words how the domain of coded values ensure the accuracy of the attribute data you entered in step 6. You ensure the accuracy because you have selected a data type, right? So if you add the text over here, it will not accept it. The next question is, when you finish entering these values, click the stop editing. Okay, we have done all that. Now we are moving to the task 2. For task 2, we have to use shapefile wp, which is basically a forest shapefile, and wp data.dbf, right? So just go to the ArcMap again, insert a data frame by following the previous step, go to the task 2. I am unchecking this layer and open the task 2. So in the task 2, just remove these layer and edit them again. You have to add the data, that is wp.shp, and the second thing what you have to do is to add data, that is wp data.dbf, right? So once you have wp data.dbf and these two files they are added, now the next thing what you have to do is to let's view them, how they look like. Okay, it is giving me some error. Let's activate this layer first. Now it will be displayed, right? So by clicking activate, you can view the layers. So we have wp and wp data displayed over here. Now the next thing what we have to do is basically we need to see the attribute tables of both these files. If you click on the attribute table of wp, you have fid, shape, area, parameter, and some other columns. If you have opened the wp data file, you have some other information of the same file. So this was basically the relational database concept which we were talking in the theory, that how to relate two different files or how to relate two different text files or a shape file with a text file. So for this exercise what we will do is we will join wp data, the attributes of wp data to the shapefile wp, right? So we have to right click wp, point to join and relate, and select join. It's very simple step. Just you have to right click, go to join and relate, and click join. Now here you have to choose the field, which field you want to use. So we have to select the id here, select the id, right, and join data from wp data, right? You can validate the join and click ok. Once you click ok, let's view it again. Now you have all the information in the one table. So this is very important concept in databases, that is relational database or relating one table to the other table. So this we have performed, that is relating the tables, joining the tables, sorry. The next thing what we have to do is to perform the task 3, and in that section instead of join you have to relate the tables. So you have to insert a data frame and add these three files, wp.shp, wpdata.dbf, and wpec.dbf, right? So go to the ArcMap again and let's remove these layers which I have already added earlier. Now click activate. This layer will be activated, right? You just have to add data wp, right? And the next was to add wp data, and the third one was to add wpec.dbf. These three files they are added. Some data is here in this file, some data is here in this file, and we have the shape file over here. Now this exercise is interesting, that it asks you to relate I think three files, right? So what we have to do is basically first we have to relate wp and wp data. So we have to relate, go to the wp and select relate, and based on id relate wp with wp data. So here we have wp, just go to join and relate. Okay, here we have join and relate, and just click on relate based on the id, and you have to select wp data, and let's select some name as relate 1, right, and click OK. So these two are now related. Their attributes are now related. The second is to relate WP data with WPACT. So you have to right click WP data, and based on ID you have to relate it with that WP data. You just have to relate it based on the ID which is common with WPACT, and just rename it as relate to and click OK. Now these three, this is related with this is related with this one, so indirectly this WP is related with WPACT. So this is the method to relate multiple files, right? Now the three tables, they are related. If you click WP data and see its attributes, you will see some more information over here, right? Here we have WP data and select open. So here you have some more information displayed over here. Okay, the next thing what you have to do is to select some record or select some information, like I quoted you an example of trees, buildings and roads. So here we have to select some information from the three files, right? So we have first related three files. Now we are going to perform some SQL query to fetch data based on multiple files or 2 to 3 files, right? So what you have to do is to go to the select by attribute tool. In the ArcMap, go to select by attributes. Here you have SQL query. If you follow the word file, it says that you have to select origin greater than 0 and origin less than 1900, right? So here we have an origin field, so it should be greater than 0, greater than 0. And the second thing, it asks you to and origin is less than 1900. Here we have and origin is less than 1900, right? So click apply. So you have over, if you select this tool, it will show you selected records. You have 857 records selected, right? So you can display those as well in if you relate the shapefile, you can view them later, right? Till here we have generated a query that origin greater than 0 and origin less than 1900 will be selected, right? So once this is completed, we have to see now which records in WP attribute table they are related to the records in WP data. So we have to click the drop down WP data table, point to relates and relate one. So just close it here, WP, okay, this step asks let's see it again. Click the options drop down in WP data table. Okay, here we have WP data table, and here we have relate 1, right, and relate 2, right? So you just have to click on the mention which is in the PDF, that is relate 1. So here, once you click on relate 1, you will see which records are selected in the query. They are displayed over here, right? So this is basically relating the tables and displaying the information. And that's the next task is task 4, that is basically to demonstrate how the existing attribute data can be used for data classification, right? So what we have to do is to add field, right? And so in the WP data we have to add some field, elevation, zone, short, integer. So here just close it and In WP data, select open. Here you can add a field. The name is ELV's elevation zone, right? Short integer and click OK. Here elevation zone field is selected, right? So you can add the field right from here, very easy step, or you can follow the second method of going to our toolbox and adding the field. Both steps, both methods, they are correct. Okay, the next thing what we have to do is to we have added the field over here and it is displayed, right? Now we have to open WP data and we have the elevation displayed over here. Now go to select by attributes and select elevation greater than 0 and elevation less than 40, right? Just clear all the previous selection, go to the attribute table, and here you have to select the elevation which is basically greater than 0 and less than or equal to 40. Elevation greater than 0 and elevation less than or equal to 40. So once you selected this, just click apply and some data will be selected over here, right? So once you have done this, click the selected at the bottom of the table. Selected records will be displayed. Now in elevation zone, you have to select the field calculator. Here in elevation zone, you just have to go to the field calculator, click yes. This window is going to appear. Now the next step, it asks you that click yes to proceed. We have done that. Enter 1 in the expression box of the field calculator and click OK. Now let's enter 1 and click OK. It will be calculating the records and it will populate the values with 1, right? Only those which were earlier selected are populated with 1, right? Okay, the next thing what we have to do is go back to the attributes table and select elevation greater than 40 and less than 45 from the as we have selected earlier. So we will have some record displayed over here. So the purpose of this exercise till task 4 was to add some data, relate some tables and perform some queries. Similarly, you can perform this query as elevation greater than 40, elevation less than 45. It will select some record. Select by attribute, elevation greater than 40 and less than 45. Just click apply. Some other records will be selected, right? So this is some basic of the relating the table and fetching some data, right? Our next task is basically wp.shp and wp-data.tbf. We have to add them, and in the WP shapefile we have to enter a field which is named as acre. So you just have to go to WP, open its attribute table and select add field, and here you have to add acres. Select the type as float and click OK. Here the field will be added, right? So the next thing what you have to do is to use this formula. Just copy it and come back to this and select field calculator. Here you have to select, just paste this formula and click OK. It will calculate. Okay, the next task, that is task 6. What you have to do is to go to the attribute table of WP file and add a field here named as acres and select the type as float and click OK. Now this task asks you to basically calculate the field, use the field calculator, and you just have to paste the formula from the Word file that your area field will be divided by this number, right, and then it will be multiplied by 247.11 and click OK. So your area will be in acres will be calculated. So this is basically about the uh, adding a field and calculating the area, right? So this was lab that covered almost the 6 exercise except this one, which uses the Visual Basic script. I will check it and will let you know in the next coming labs, inshallah. And we have covered almost different section. The basic idea is to just to relate and join the tables, and based on those joins you can actually get some data by some SQL query. I hope now this is all clear. Thank you.